Hi guys. Okay, welcome to GTA 5, and this is the very first video card we're going to test out. And I already changed the name on the MSI Afterburner, so you can see what card is. It's the 3560, right? 3560 with the CPU is Q9550. And the GPU memory is 6 gigabytes, and the RAM on the system RAM is 8 gigabytes. And I did some driving around already, and even on this old computer, the video card memory will rise all the way up to like 3,500. So ideally, even with an older computer, ideally you want to look for cards that are 4 gigabytes of DDR5. And on system RAM, I noticed even on these older computers, the system RAM climbs up to like 7,000 and something. So imagine that. So ideally, even with an older computer, you want 8 gigabytes of system RAM, and the GPU ideally should be a 4 gigabyte. Okay. So let's see. This is I downloaded a saved file, so the map is unlocked, and we're going to start out up here at the very top at a place called Hookie's Restaurant, and we're going to drive down the west coast of the west coast right here, and then here's the major city area. So I'll just show you that really quick, and then we'll do that again on the other video cards really quick. So just to give you an idea where we're at. So we're going to start here in the northern part of the map and then drive along the west coast southbound and then into the city area a little bit. And you'll see how that performs and what else. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I blew up the MSI Afterburner display so that you can see the numbers, because I don't know why, but most content creators don't do that. What's the point of you showing me the Afterburner readings? I can't even see it because it's always in the very corner right here. It's too small, right? I think that's kind of dumb. So I think I'm the only one that does this. So to make it as easy for you to see, you know the game, right? So what you want to see is the actual readings of the Afterburner. So that's why I made it as large as possible so you can see the numbers, okay? So the very first reading is 33 degrees. That's the temperature of the video card. And the GPU is 40%. So yeah, but that's another thing. Well, you probably already know, but because this is an old computer, you're never going to see 99%, right? That's only when if you plug this video card into a brand new computer. And then 31%, I believe, is the fan speed, and then the watts. Here, the video card, because like I say, since the video card doesn't really rev up because it's a slow CPU, it doesn't use a lot of electricity. Like 25 watts, 30 watts, like a really small card, right? And then here on the memory lane, 1263. This will climb up to 3,500 as we play the game. 5,000, I believe that's the memory clock speed. And then here's the CPU and the temperature, 48 degrees. The CPU is not overclocked, so we're just driving in. We're going to run the CPU at stock speed as if it's an OEM computer. So. Oh yeah, and even though this is an old computer, you'll see this normally, like GTA 5. For an old computer, it'll actually use all 4 cores. So see, this is 4-core 4-thread, right? So you'll see this it'll stay on like 80% and 90%. So it's a pretty heavy game for Core2Quad, but surprisingly, I don't really see any stutters. So. And that's the clock speed. See that? 2.833. And that's, if you look that up in the CPU ID, that's what you want. If the motherboard is working right, it's 2,833 megahertz. That's what the CPU is running. At least it should, If it's lower than that, maybe there's something wrong with the motherboard, or you're using an OEM motherboard. So I don't know. But that's the official clock speed, so that's good. And system RAM right now is 4,229, but as you play the game, it'll rise to 7,000 and something. So it'll use all system RAM. So, you know, ideally you want at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. On a 775, it's kind of hard to put 16 gigs because most, from what I've noticed, most motherboards don't support 16 gigs of RAM. So you're kind of like stuck at best having 8 megabytes. 8 gigs of system RAM. So if you like, ideally though, you know, you should be looking for the newer motherboard, which is the first generation Intel, and that supports 16 gig, you know. But surprisingly, even on a Core2Quad, yeah, you can do 8. So I think that's it. Let me see. I got my, okay. Let me get my controller up. Makes it easier to record. Okay, let me hit escape. Escape. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be parking right here by Hookies. If you want to look that up on the map. Okay, so now I'm going to use the controller because it's a lot easier to just drive. Ooh, hold on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't really play, believe it or not, I don't really play Grand Theft Auto, but I love GTA 5 for the benchmark because for whatever reason, the game is really optimized. It's incredible how optimized this game is. It pretty much covers every single computer out in the world. From imagine that, you know, like Core2Quads, and I imagine even Core2 Duo at even lower settings, right? But I'm impressed. I mean, you can one single video game highly optimized for, you know, for all the popular motherboards, CPUs, RAM sticks, all the way back to you know, Core2 Duo, Core2Quad, and all the way now to you know, a modern brand new computer. So I don't know, I find it fascinating. So it's an incredible game, you know. So like if you want to do any benchmarking, this is definitely a game to have in your war chest for benchmarking. Okay, so oh yeah, if you want to know how many watts are on the wall, I look at the power supply, the AC watt meter, and we're consuming 135 watts. So it's very economical. You don't really need a really strong power supply then. So imagine at 135 watts, you know, any bummy, you know, as long as it's a decent power supply, I guess, name brand power supply. Yeah, 180. All you need is like 180 watts, you know, like you see in the OEM computers. Just to give you an idea, as long as nothing's overclocked, you know, so there you go. So right here, you know, it's let's see, you can see the frames, right? So temperature wise, the video card stays nice and cold at 34 degrees. GPU percentile is like 40%. Watts, the video card is only consuming what, 25 watts? That's nothing, right? Yeah, I know the video card is kind of overkill for this for the Core2Quad. And memory rate, we're using 1,800 of the video RAM. And the CPU, yeah, you can see the CPU 46 degrees, so it's running nice and ice cold. With the Cooler Master 92 millimeter, the CPU average is like an 80% and 90%. So, you know, it's using all 4 cores. The megahertz of the CPU is 2.833, and it's staying right there, which is good. System RAM right now is 5,000, and it's going to be climbing. And the frames, yeah, like when you're out of the city, it looks like it hovers around 60, you know, goes up and it goes down. And the milliseconds are, you know, pretty decent right now. You know, 16. Usually, I notice, you know, I've been testing a bunch of video cards and video games. So it looks like, you know, like in the uppers, like 16, 17, 18 milliseconds. Usually if it's like, you know, between 16 and 20 milliseconds, looks like that's what that's normal. If you don't want to experience any stutter, that's what you want. So yeah, it's right there. It's right there in the sweet spot, you know, 16 to 20 milliseconds. But then again, like I say, we're not in the city yet, so we're still going southbound, right? So what else? Okay. Okay. So you see, we're dropping FPS because, you know, now there's more cars, right? More traffic. So that'll lower the FPS. Also, you're going to see the millisecond graph. You see, it's starting to go over 20 now because you know, there's more things being involved right here. Whoop. Okay. So we're coming into the city, and we're coming into the expressway, right? Yeah, I noticed with this game is a little bit easier when you're driving around to use a controller because, you know, because if you're trying to use the mouse, it forces the camera to go up and down, and when you're on a controller, you know, you can keep the camera straight, and then all you have to do is go left and right on a car. So it's just a lot easier to do this benchmark, and you're just driving around. You know, I notice it's a lot easier with just a controller. Yeah, so not bad. You see, now it's starting to slowly climb. Now we're at 6,378 megabytes. And look at the memory, look at the video card. It's 3,100 and what, 30? So that goes to show you, even on this old computer, you know, this game looks like the sweet spot is a video card that has 4 gigabytes of 4 gigabyte video card, you know. And coincidentally, you know, there's a lot of older video cards out there that have 4 gigabytes of VRAM on the video card. So yeah, I guess that's what the whoever developed the game, that looks like they were targeting 4 gigabyte video cards. So keep that in mind if you're interested in buying some video cards. Ideally, I guess you want to look at video cards that has at least 4 gigabytes of VRAM. You know, if you want to play Grand Theft Auto. Now, technically, you can use video cards that use only 3, you know, 3 or 2 or 1 memory, but then it's going to start to run out of memory, and then what it might try to do is borrow system RAM, and that's a problem because look at the specs now. So it goes to show you, like right, this is what I'm talking about. See that 3400, and this is a Core2Quad, you know. So imagine 3400, and this is a Core2Quad, right? And system RAM, even on an old Core2Quad, we're using 7,100 system RAM. So that's what I mean. If you're using a video card that uses less than 3,400, then supposedly what's supposed to happen is the video game is going to wants to borrow system RAM to replenish what you're missing here. But if it can't do that, then I imagine then the game is going to start to stutter. So that's why right now, I mean, everything seems normal. Because look at that, we're in the city, right? And the millisecond graph is in the sweet spot, 16 to 20 milliseconds. So all things considered, that means there shouldn't be any stutter. I don't see the stutter, and you got the millisecond graph down here if you're really technical about it. But you can just look at that millisecond number, and yeah, 16 to 20 milliseconds means everything's running normal, no stutter, even on this really old computer. What else? But yeah, system RAM looks like it's gonna stay 7,100. It stopped climbing, I guess. And yeah, the memory is 3,400. And now we're going over this expressway. I don't know if you know this bridge. I don't know. I forgot what this bridge is called. But I think this is where we're gonna stop it. Because this is pretty much familiar with this bridge. Usually, it's not going to get any better or worse here. So, I think we tested enough on this video card. So yeah, there you go. See, yeah, I think there's no reason to keep testing it. So I think this is where the video card and the system RAM and the VRAM and all that are stabilized. It's not going to get any worse than this. So this is pretty much like both memory is filled up. See, 3,400, and the system RAM is 7,100. And the watts is stable at 21 watts. Let me check the power supply really quick. Yep, 100. The power supply is 135 watts. So this is pretty much stable, So I assume that you can keep using the game like this for a half hour, an hour, and this is pretty much filled up. Yeah, and it's kind of cool, right? The video card is super cold, 33 degrees. And the Core2Quad is only, what, 48 degrees Celsius? So, yeah, which is kind of funny because, well, it's got a, 92 millimeter tower. Because if you're using an OEM cooler, those really little dinky ones, the CPU would be a lot hotter. So, I don't know, it's kind of nice, It's kind of nice, like a custom PC, and you see everything nice and cold, and we got low watts, we got low temperatures, the frame rate is stable, and we're in the sweet spot between 16 and 20 milliseconds, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, so this is I'll stop the video, and then I'll switch out video cards, and then we'll try another video card. Okay, so I hope you like this, and I don't know if let's see, this video segment is about 18 minutes, so maybe what I'll do is I'll make the other video separate. I'll upload it to YouTube as a separate video, because I don't know if it makes sense to add them all together or not. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, if I don't add it right after this on the same video, then just look at my channel and look for the next video card, because maybe it's gonna look weird, like like an hour long segment, if we for every video card. So maybe it makes more sense to break up the videos. Okay, well, I hope you liked this little segment, so stay tuned. Let me switch out video cards, and we'll test the next video card. Bye.